Greetings. Welcome back to Academic Asafo. And in this video, this will be an introduction into my divestment series. So, as a black millennial, I don't appreciate how a gender war has broken out that has caused several tremors of division among black men and women. What I couldn't understand was why, with everything going on between black women and men, we have ended up with this internal struggle with no end in sight. In fact, it's only been getting worse. Fingers have been pointed back and forth, endless debates about the fault of who, why, when, where, and what have been spoken on ad nauseum. So I want to take it back when I was younger, in my 20s, about 10 years ago. I witnessed the talking points of the modern divestment movement on Facebook. I will be doing a breakdown video on what divestment is about, but in terms of this Facebook group, I don't remember what it was called. It seemed like an extreme black feminist page, and this was the fiercest rhetoric for black women to separate from black men that I ever heard at the time. I've always been naturally curious. That's why I joined the group. I've known about black feminism, but this was the first time I heard about black women publicly saying to separate from black men. I remembered having a conversation in the Facebook Messenger with the creator of the group, and we went back and forth for some time about anti-black history and how it pertained to black people as a whole. But her stance was black women need each other and should separate from black men because the community was in shambles, is in shambles. My point was the community was in shambles by design, and black people would need each other to help repair it. She believed it was beyond repair, and black women were wasting their time in it. After conceding she wouldn't consider anti-black history as a reason to unify, I let it go and I continued to watch the group. She closed down the group for several months later, the reason having something to do with moving on to another project. I don't remember exactly how many people were in the group, but I know it was definitely more than 500, 750. It was a very active group, engaged group, and the creator of the group wasn't the only woman that thought that way. So now fast forward, and I'm not surprised that there are several other platforms that are basically saying the same thing. Some are more extreme than others. So my point being, nothing has changed. Black men are engaged tooth and nail online with black women on this issue, then and now. They feel angry, offended, and appalled at the suggestion that black women separate from black men. The reason why so many black men feel hurt and betrayed by black women is because we feel entitled for their sympathy. The black man is treated like the most dangerous man on the planet, and the last person on earth he expects a war from is the black woman. So this is a message to black men who want to solve problems in the community. Black men, I know how you feel. I know your pain. The entire world is against you, against us as a collective. So please take heed when I say that nobody cares. You have to work harder. I want to help black men channel that pain and rage they have towards black women and turn it into something productive. and now counterproductive and volatile. I firstly want to say this channel is now going to be a place for black men to feel validated about their volatile feelings for black women. I want this series to help black men who are willing to hold up a mirror and take accountability and action. This is for black men who are really ready to reflect on themselves and the collective as well too. So if you don't want to hear the brutal truth, you can exit and listen to one of the dozens of dating and relationship podcasts in the YouTube sphere spewing the same bullshit you want to hear. Gender wars between black women and men have reached historical tension. And yes, I do think this divide has turned into a war of words at the very least. And these words spoken by black men, I need them to realize that the way they diminish the black woman and her image is contributing to black femicide. Because right now, the rate of black women being unalived is every 5 to 5.5 hours. And in most cases, it's a black man that is doing the unaliving. Black men can't have it both ways, being the contributor of single parent homes and the perpetrators of black femicide, at the same time saying black women are the issue of the community. If we expect black women to have our backs, then we need to lead, L-E-A-D, and have their backs. Black men can't expect submissiveness. Black men cannot expect submissiveness if the only thing you are leading is a fucking discussion why black women is a problem with the community. When it comes to gender wars, I believe only men have the power to correct this issue. I believe men should correct men and women should correct women. So this is not about giving women a pass. I expect women to correct women on women's issues. This is about the men, not about the women. The only way is for black men to build institutions and infrastructures and level up from being average to deal with the problem at the core. At the core, in order to fix this problem, at the root, is to make it our mission to build more independent infrastructure like schools, groceries, hospitals, clinics, farms, housing, transportation, law, and several more. We don't need to do everything overnight, but black men need to decide the best way they can contribute instead of arguing with black women online. You're just wasting your energy. So why do we have to do this? Because the black community is indeed in shambles, with the exception of small pockets of sovereignty that have been created in the fields of education, business, and self-defense from what I've seen so far. Me personally, I have aligned myself with education and I take inspiration from the Nkrumah Freedom School Academy, the Ziyex Institute for Science and Technology, and the Kamali Academy homeschooling materials, because I've been following what's being done in terms of education and I've decided to take action. So I'm not gullible enough to believe all black men are not doing anything. But I do see the bad outweighs the good between the rhetoric of the black manosphere, the the perpetrators of black femicide, and the complacent black men who don't even want to address the issue. So if there's black men contributing to the issue and there's black men ignoring the issue, is what I'm trying to say. So black men only have two options. Option one is to continue getting frustrated with black women, speaking down on them, attempt to reduce their worth, argue with them, and dismiss them thinking you are just correcting them. And the second option, the more viable option, the more productive option, is you can ignore the radical black feminism and create a time period in your life where you work on yourself and what you want to do for the community. You can try and choose in between, but this is what separates the ones who want to be complacent in the community and the ones who have radical ambitions and know who the true enemy is: white supremacy, aka anti-blackness. This is the black man's logical guide to understanding divestment. Now, if you believe black women deserve to hear the truth so that they can correct themselves, then you can apply that same standard to yourself, no questions asked. There are dozens of podcasts that make it their mission to put black women in their place. So, what does that say about black men if they can't handle accountability about the collective of black men coming from other black men? If you think black women should be corrected, then automatically black men could be corrected because black men are not perfect, not by a long shot. And I understand what's going on around us in the world, but at the same time, we have to put down this fire of this gender war. We can't contribute to it. No matter what the other side is doing or saying, we have to lead. Black men, we can't help fix the problem if we dismiss black women every chance we get just to look good, just for our image to look good. Nothing about our community looks good between youth violence and single parent homes. We can actually use the divestment movement and learn to help prepare the community so that future black women don't feel the need to divest in the first place. So the goal really is not to fight divestment, but to eliminate divestment. Without divestment, we will continue to feel entitled and get lazy. It's better for black men to evolve mentally, and instead of feeling like a victim of divestment talking points, they can be proactive and help build the community. With that being said, if you are still listening and ready for this guide, then there are a few paradigm shifts to better absorb this analysis to handle black men's logical guide to understanding divestment. The first thing you have to realize is nobody cares. You have to work harder. I'm talking about your feelings. I already said it earlier. I know black men yearn for at least sympathy from black women, but sympathy is not going to make you stronger or ambitious or victorious. Don't expect black women to put you on a pedestal and treat you like the prize. You have to work for yourself, clap for yourself, achieve goals, going towards how you will manage your life and repair the community. Second thing is just leave the idea of combating black women online alone. There's no point. Stop the arguments and just listen. Black males have a habit of complaining black women are becoming too masculine, but they continue to pull them into masculine energy over petty online arguments. To correct this issue, they have to go from being proactive on divestment pages, meaning going on certain pages and commenting, just being trolls, to being passive or indifferent. If you can't handle listening to the raw, if you can't handle listening to the raw, uncut thoughts of black women without commenting, then just don't. You're just really wasting your time that could go into impactful production of your life and the community. So just ignore them, is what I'm trying to say. Thirdly, stop using swirling to threaten black women. Stop using Big Booty Becky and Spicy Maria to make black women feel like they have competition if they don't put you on a pedestal. If you think of giving up on black women, you have definitely lost. Fourth, stop letting divestment bother you. Accept that once black women have given up, it's over. Accept that even if you do all the right things, she may still want to divest. That's how big of an issue it is. It's important to understand that the problem is with the majority who are either problematic towards black women or just complacent to their situations. Accept that just because you may be an exceptional black man, it may not affect black women's view of the collective. Learn to roll with the punches. Anti-blackness has already given you tough skin, so learn to embrace it. Well, anti-blackness was supposed to give black men tough skin, but it doesn't seem like they're acting like it. And lastly, there's no point on jumping on swirling gone wrong stories when a black woman is unalived by a white partner. If you feel happy that what black women are occasionally victims to white lovers, and you feel nothing when they are victims to black lovers, there's something wrong with you and your way of thinking. Speak on it all or don't speak at all. Stop cherry picking. You can head to Leah Cordone's channel and see the countless stories of vile violence perpetuated against black women from black men. Leah Cardone is a true crime channel for black women who are victims, and she is unintentionally raising awareness on black femicide. Black men never suggest black women should watch out for black men in those stories, so it could work both ways. So, black men need to rise up and build community, not build a useless audience for dating podcasts. As a black man, you may get the black woman you want who worships black men, fine, but will she be safe and protected in the community? Can children say the same thing? Black men need to realize whether you are in a relationship or not, you still have to navigate a jungle of anti-blackness, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. So, if you've lasted this long, this is the intro to the Black Man's Guide to Understanding Divestment. So, look forward for my commentary. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and peace out till the next video.